Hi, I'm Rodney Yee. We're going to do a little yoga for flexibility. Flexibility of the muscles, of the joints, of the body, of the mind. Let's do it all. There's about 206 bones in the body, somewhere between 300 and 360 joints in the body, and then there's something like 600 and some odd muscles in the body. So we have a lot to do, so let's get started. We're gonna stretch every muscle, every joint, and we might even stretch some bones. Let's start with the spine. The spine's a fascinating creature. It's got about 26 bones, but it's got about 104 facilitating surfaces. That means there's a surface articulating with another surface. So let's see if we can feel that by just doing this simple little cat-cow. So we're gaining movement in our spine, and to do that, we're beginning to open up all the back muscles with a hunch. We're beginning to open up all the muscles at the front of the body with a back bend. And then just feel that, I get to spread and open the muscles of my back body regardless of whether I could name them. And then I can go into a back bend and all the way from my groin to my collarbones to my front of my throat, I open. And I play around with getting an even opening to the whole front of my body. And then maybe how about a side bend? Look over to see your tailbone from the right, wag your tail to the left. So the spine is amazing. It can move in so many different patterns. So these are just 4 of the patterns: the hunch, the back bend, the side bends, and maybe even sort of like this circular action. Have fun. Sort of play with feeling the movements and the joints of the shoulders and hips and the muscles of the torso moving. Now, I want you to do that a little bit, is roll around on your shoulder and hip joints, because not only are we creating flexibility by opening those muscles, but we're also creating this sort of centering of the joint. So the joint feels at ease and spacious. Go into the back bend again, tucking the toes under and coming into a bent leg down dog. Slowly begin to pedal out the legs so your one heel comes down, the other leg bends. Feeling the opening of the calf muscles and the hamstrings. And then come way up to the toes and say, okay, I'm gonna reach to my heels. It doesn't really matter if they come all the way down, but begin to open up the back of the legs and the shoulders. Then walk forward. Now don't force. Use your blocks and feel the length of the legs, and then slowly releasing the entire back of the legs and the entire back body. If this is easy for you, beginning to reach behind the feet, and then bend the legs and take the left foot back to a lunge. Feel the division between the 2 legs and the rocking. And then from there, take your blocks in your hands, medium or highest height, and begin to straighten the front leg. Ground the back heel to open up that calf muscle. Pull the chest forward, lengthen the front leg, and begin the release over the front leg. Rebend the front leg, push off the back leg, again, into a standing forward bend. Bend the leg, slide the chin and the chest forward, right foot back to a lunge. Ground the back heel so you're beginning to open up the back of the front leg, and a little bit the front of the back leg and the calf of the back leg, getting that opening of the hamstrings and the calf muscles. Push off the back leg, One more time, come into a standing forward bend. Now bend the legs, slide the chin and the chest forward. Have your blocks if necessary. Right foot back to lunge and drop the right knee to the ground. Now we just stretched the hamstring, so I want you to come forward with the torso. As you do that, feel this quadricep of the back leg. And feel like as the tailbone drops, you begin to elongate the front body. And this also opens up the deep muscle of the calf called the soleus of the front leg. So here you're getting a little bit the quadriceps and the psoas and the calf muscles of the front leg. Downward facing dog. Walk forward between the hands. Standing forward bend. Bend the legs, slide the chin and the chest forward, and left foot back to a lunge. Begin to straighten the front leg. And then come down with the back knee and come into that lunge. Feeling the deep muscle of the calf moving down into the grounding heel. Feel how that quadricep of the back leg and maybe a deep muscle called the psoas beginning to stretch. And then back to downward facing dog. Come onto your belly and reach your arms forward. As you do that, keep onto the fingertips and open up the shoulders by pulling the chest and the chin forward and deepening the armpit. So you begin to open up the muscles of the front body and firm the muscles of the back body. Even press the toenails and lift the chin and the chest. And release. Now continuing with the spine in a little bit, the hip flexors of the front of the thighs. Play with a couple of cobras. No need to force. Play. And then come and sit in what we call hero's pose on a block or two blocks. You can even be in a chair with the feet slightly pulled back. So these quadriceps begin to get open. Raise your arms. Take your left arm under your right and feel the broadness between the muscles of the shoulder blades. And then open the arms again. Take the right arm underneath the left. Same thing, drop the head and feel the broadness of the muscles between the shoulder blades. And release, and then come to kneeling. And have your hands and your hips begin to lift the sternum and the chin up. Feel like, nice open back bend. Feeling this whole opening of the front body, and then sit back down. And then we're gonna do that again, and you're gonna roll around the hips again, so nothing gets stiff. Nothing overstretches, but there's an even flexibility in the whole body. And you may even begin to reach your arms up and wing the arms back possibly to camel's pose. Lifting up and sitting back down. Settle back in. And then let all that opening allow you to breathe easy. Float. Suspend yourself. Namaste.